Hola, welcome to Viva Tutor. We're gonna do conditional tense today. So I would do something to talk about the things that we would do in another circumstances. For example, I would go running, but it's raining. Or we would buy a new car if we had the money. So this tense is really similar to simple future, which I filmed last week. So if you want to have a look at that, if you learn both of them at the same time or pretty close together, it usually helps because they work exactly the same way. The only difference between them is the endings. So let's have a look. We have regular verbs and irregular verbs, but we only have 12 irregular verbs, so we're pretty lucky with that. So with the regular verbs, we're going to use the infinitive as the base. So the infinitive, to do something, hablar, vivir, beber, always ending in an R. And then we're going to finish that off with the endings that we're going to choose depending on who would do something. So we have I, you, he, she, or it, we, you guys, or they. And the endings are ia, ias, ia, iemos, iais, ian. And as you can see, we have an accent in every single one of them in the I. So remember to put that accent on. So let's see a couple of examples with the regular ones. We have intentar. Intentar is to try. I'm going to finish that off with ia, the I form. Intentaría, I would try. And another one is ir, to go. Iríamos, and finishing that off with the we form, íamos, we would go. So let's see a couple of examples with the regular ones. Intentar means to try, and finishing that off with the I form, ia. Intentaría, it's I would try. Another one is ir, to go. I'm using the ending for we, íamos, so putting it together, iríamos, we would go. Okay, so with the irregular ones, we're not going to use the infinitive as the base, we're going to use an irregular base that we are given, so we have to learn it. For example, for hacer, to do or to make, we have ar. For poder, to be able to, we have podr, and for venir, to come, we have vendr. So I'm only showing 3 here, but as I said, you have 12 of this. So I'm showing a grid that you're going to be able to download. It's going to be in the description box. And in there you have the endings for both regular and irregular verbs, because they do share endings. And then you have the irregular verbs, each of those with the meaning and the irregular base to create the tense. So let's see how it works. We have ar, which means which comes from hacer, to do or to make, and I'm using ias, where is it? Ian, the they form, to finish that off. So harían, putting it together, they would do or they would make. Another one is saldr, which is not here, but it's on the grid. So saldr comes from salir, to go out. And finishing that off with ias, the you form. Saldrías, you would go out. So to sum it up, for regular verbs, you take the infinitive, you finish that with the endings. And for irregular verbs, you have the regular base. You can use the grid for that, and you finish it off with the same endings. So now if you want a little practice, I'm going to show somewhere on the screen some translations from Spanish to English. They include some irregular verbs, so you can use the grid in the description box to do that. And also I'm showing some translations from English to Spanish. If you do those translations, leave them below if you want me to correct them. I'll be happy to answer any question as well. Give me a thumbs up if you found this helpful, and subscribe if you're new to the channel. I'll be here every week with another grammar point. Hasta luego. Ciao.